The ticking of the clock is like a hammer inside my head. Hello guys and girls! Welcome back. It's past 2 AM. The window is closed and the lab is silent but for the humming of the computer. We stare at the gruesome image displayed on the monitor, speechless. I was right. We're in too deep. I half expect guys in black suits and sunglasses to kick down the door and drag us off to a secret military prison. Better make sure the door's locked. What's going on here? Daru breaks the silence with a disbelieving whisper. They jellified someone? Upon hearing the familiar word jellified, I reflexively look at the bunch of bananas placed next to the computer. There's only one banana left. We didn't have a single successful experiment today, so none of them were jellified. But I don't think this is a mere coincidence. The jellified banana is produced by the phone wave, named subject to change, and the jellified corpse is produced by CERN's experiments. They seem identical in nature. They're experimenting on people. Kurisu speaks calmly despite her grim expression. She doesn't even avert her eyes from the gruesome image. And this means they created a time machine, doesn't it? Even if it's not perfect. Eh? I'm still in shock, so I don't quite grasp the meaning of Kurisu's words. This New York Times article is from 1921. 90 years ago. Look! Kurisu points to a part of the black and white photograph, her fingers shaking slightly. The jellified corpse of a man. She's pointing to his shoulder, which has writing on it. Perhaps it was printed on his clothes. It's fused onto the jellified body, but you can somehow manage to read it. CERN. So, CERN used the LHC to send someone back to 1921. Looks like they failed to keep him alive, though. Is this the only report? No, there's more. Looks like 14 people in total. More Jellymen? That means more jellified people? More victims of human experimentation? I swallow hard. I'm awfully thirsty. I take a cold Dr. P out of the fridge and wet my throat. Show me the others. Daru pulls up another report. Without being told to, Kurisu begins translating out loud. Jellyman's report number 9. Subject Dan Streisky, age 26. Canadian. C program 4. Date of experiment 2004, 10:30, time 14:10. Results: error, human is dead, mismatch. The newspaper clipping, I think it's in French. I can't read it. You can read a date though, January 31st, 2001. The location is Pau, France, I guess? 2001. That's fairly recent. Pretty big difference from James McCarthy, who jumped nearly 90 years back to 1921. Daru calls up a machine translation, giving us the following. January 31, 2001. Collapsed male corpse discovered in forest outside Pau, France. Its left foot was fused to a tree trunk and the body had jellified. But if these reports have always been around, haven't they, like, heard about him sooner? Or did CERN make... But if these are already newspaper clippings, somebody must have heard about it, and if somebody noticed that there were several jellified bodies, even if they were years apart, like, somebody should have drawn the lines. Daru goes to the next report. Jellyman's report number 8. Subject Linda Hill, age 25, British. C program 4, date of experiment 2004, the 15th of February, 1345. Results: error, human is dead, mismatch. October 2nd, 1972, the jellified body of a woman was discovered on the streets of Dharmapuri in Tamil Nadu, India. There were signs that the body had been run over by a car. Daru goes to the next page. Jellyman's report number 7. Subject Michael Lang, age 33, German. C program, date of experiment 2002, the 8th of October 1328. Results: error, human is dead, mismatch. The article clipping is written in Japanese. Looks like a pre-war newspaper. May 24th, 1936. The corpse of what is believed to be a jellified human was discovered at the base of Mount Hiei in Kyoto. It was in a damaged state, possibly from having slid down the slope. It even happened in Japan. I never heard this story before. It was pre-war though, so I guess someone born in the 90s like me would have no way of knowing about it. Next page. The picture shows a beach. Beautiful, but for the jellyfish-like body laying on the sand, it must have washed ashore. Jellymen's report number 6. Subject: Mark Hughes, age 30, American. C program 4, date of experiment 2002. 8:23, 12:52, the times, dates, doesn't matter. Result: error, human is dead, mismatch. On July 1st, 1985, a strange body washed ashore on the coast of Streymoy, Faroe Islands. It appeared to be the body of an adult male, but its flesh was soft like that of a jellyfish. Some of the island's inhabitants believed that it was the body of a merman. The inscription CERN was found near the body's shoulder, but CERN denies any involvement. Keep looking? I've seen enough. There are 14 of these people. The sites are spread throughout the world. What could we deduce from this? They must have sent them to those places. I don't think so. It's too random. There was something about curved black holes in gravity, right? Isn't that the cause? It is believed that due to infinite compression by supergravity, the subject could not endure passage through the curved black hole's singularity. That's what it said. What's a curved black hole? Is it different from a regular black hole? It's a theoretical black hole with a rotating singularity. Their existence hasn't been proven yet. Not that there's any way to prove one exists. Curved black hole. Where have I heard that term before? That's right, John Teeter. Teeter said his time machine used curved black holes. According to Teeter, CERN finished their time machine in 2034, and then Teeter himself came from 2036. It makes sense for Teeter and CERN to be using the same time travel technology. Dots. Kurisu closes her eyes in deep thought. Creating curved black holes? That's insane. If you screw up, it could swallow the Earth. And besides, curved black holes are just a theoretical construct. If Teeter's predictions are reality, then that means that the LHC worst case scenario video on MewTube was right. MewTube? A popular video sharing, so of course. I don't know about Teeter's predictions, but I've seen the problem video before. It was on the news 2 or 3 years ago. A CG mock-up of an LHC-generated mini black hole swallowing the Earth went viral when it was uploaded to MewTube. The gravitational forces inside a black hole are unbelievably powerful. It's certainly possible that passing through one could allow time displacement, but there's no way a human could do that and come out alive. That must be how these people got jellified. It wouldn't just jellify you, it would tear you apart particle from particle. That's what a black hole does. Before we discuss this, shouldn't we look through the rest of their time machine research? Doris already started pulling up new documents. I'm suddenly afraid. Is it okay to keep hacking CERN like this? Should I stop him? I'm the one who asked him to do it, but the things have gotten serious now. But at the same time, irresistible curiosity wells up inside me. Time travel is becoming a reality. I want to know that it's true. I can't stop now. Here we go! Here we go! There's a file in the C program that explains time travel theory. That was pretty easy to find. CERN should have better security. Their security's fine. I'm just too good. Dara's my favorite right arm. I thought he was your super hacker. Hacker! So what does it say, Christina? This is in English too, so I have no choice but to rely on my assistants. Can you give me some time to read it? Carice's eyes dart left and right across the lines. Her earlier reluctance has vanished. It looks like she's as curious as I am. No way. But this is... Is Teeter really... What are you muttering about? Tell me what it says. Oh, right. You know, this feels like one big joke. What do you mean? It's almost the same as Teeter's theory. Basically, the LHC smashes protons together at 99.9999991% the speed of light. By doing so, they compress a mass of 10 something something kilograms into an extremely tiny space of 10 something something meters. I'm not gonna do, like, math terms in English. I'm not gonna be able to do that. In Japanese, please. 3 lines max. A small mass. A big ass. Thrust into narrow space. With great force. That explanation's too vague. That explanation's too erotic! I was thinking that, actually. Huh? What part of it is erotic? Hashida, you pervert! Sounds like you have a pretty good imagination yourself. I'm not like you! Her blushing cheeks makes her denial less than effective. Oh... An object forced into a narrow space with great force. Don't listen to this fool, Christina. Continue. What were we talking about? Thrusting with great force. Proton compression. Right. Successful compression generates a microsingularity, which... A microsingularity? Not a mini black hole? Same thing, essentially. A singularity is the core of a black hole. This process generates a black hole with 2 microsingularities. A black hole with 2 cores? Like a cowlick with 2 ears? No, I don't think that's it. Explain with cute girls. Fine. Say there are 2 cute girls. Miek-chan and Kro-chan. Sisters are moe, huh? By feeding Miek-chan and Kro-chan electrons, you make them do whatever you want. Electric shock torture? This is some sort of eroge? Short for erotic game. Games with erotic content. Dots. So you force them to rotate at an extremely high velocity. And then theoretically, Miek-chan and Kro-chan transform into magical girl ring singularity. Cute stock transformation scene. Got it. Refers to the transformation sequences in Henshin Hero and Magical Girl anime. Since stock transformation scenes are used in nearly every episode, their animation is done independently in advance. As a result, the production quality is often higher than that of the rest of the anime. I've noticed. Also, when they want to switch clothes, there's a lot of possibilities for clothes changing transformation scenes. I'm saying. That's what I noticed. Well, it looks like these two have found a common wavelength. The resulting black hole exhibits what's called a Kerr effect. What are Kerr black holes anyway? You said they spin, but what does that mean? Exactly what it sounds like. But don't black holes usually spin? I mean, there's a whirlpool around the hole, right? The part that looks like it's spinning is just a surrounding matter being sucked into the black hole. A black hole is just a point where extreme mass causes gravitational collapse. Everything falls towards it. Since it's only a point, it doesn't spin. A Kerr black hole is a ring at its center, not a point. Think of it like this. Once transformed into magical girls, Miek-chan and Kro-chan's hearts spins like a ring inside their bodies, which is impossible for normal people. I'll pass on the Guro. Before, you said that such a black hole's existence would be impossible to prove. What did you mean? A black hole has what's called an event horizon, also known as the Schwarzschild surface. In a black hole, there exists a point beyond which even light can no longer escape the black hole's immense gravity. This boundary is called the event horizon. Because light and other electromagnetic waves are responsible for conveying information, nothing that occurs within the event horizon can be observed from the outside. The center of a black hole is black because no light can escape from it. Once you pass the event horizon, time and space switch places. time and space switch places? Right now, we can move freely through space and into the future, but we can't move even 1 minute into the past. That becomes reversed. On the other side of the event horizon, moving freely through space becomes impossible, while moving freely through time becomes possible. I can't even imagine what that's like. Since unrestricted spatial movements is impossible, you can never escape a black hole. For example, if Okabe jumped into a black hole, time for him would stretch to infinity. Since light cannot escape, human eyes cannot see the other side of the event horizon. Observing a black hole from the outside is impossible, so nothing about the inside can be proven. There is an exception, however. This exception is vital when you use a Kerr black hole for time travel. Get to the point. The Kerr black hole's ring singularity. Since it's spinning, it has an angular momentum. Like I said in Japanese, please. Didn't I already explain how the core spins? Just think of that as having momentum. If you keep giving Michan and Crochan electrons, they'll rotate faster and faster. And when their angular momentum exceeds a certain threshold, the event horizon will disappear and the singularity will become a naked singularity. A singularity is usually concealed by its event horizon, which renders observation impossible. A naked singularity is a singularity whose event horizon has been removed. It can therefore be observed and even traveled through. The existence of naked singularities is purely theoretical. Okay, well that's probably gonna come in handy. Naked? You mean the magical girl costumes exposes a lot of skin, right? When does the anime adaptation air? Kurisu and I ignore Daru's nonsense. Naked? You mean it becomes observable? When the event horizon disappears, there's no more reason for time and space to change places, meaning that you can enter a naked singularity without being trapped. And then the existence of the naked singularity allows the principle of causality to be violated and the general theory of relativity to fail. The laws of physics are broken. Can such a thing exist? The negation of the theory of relativity and the principle of causality means serious paradoxes can occur. Didn't Kurisu say that earlier? Nothing in principle stops Kerr black holes from existing. It seems inconsistent, but the math never lies. Since the principle of causality fails, it would be possible to travel to the past by entering a naked singularity. John Titor said the same thing. So Titor's time machine is using CERN's technology. But Titor's time machine was compact, small enough to fit into a car. The LHC is 27 kilometers long, but they managed to get it down to travel size in just 24 years. One thing I don't understand is how they inject electrons into the singularity. Look, this is a picture of the LHC, but there's strange equipment installed at the proton collision sites. It looks like they call it a lifter, but just what is it? Daru, have you heard of it? Lifter. I think I saw that in the C program files. Wanna Google it? Daru opens a browser window and enters lifter into a search engine. We got hits! About 422,000 results. That many? I guess it's not a secret. Could this be it? Ionocraft? Ions. Oh yeah, ions are charged particles. The meaning matches. We click on a link that says Ionocraft lifter. It takes us to a video. MewTube. Looks like some dim garage. But it doesn't seem like anything secretive. Just a garage like you see in an average American's home. Look at that. Old YouTube design. Sure brings you back, man. At the center of the screen is a triangular shape made of some kind of metal. It looks about 10 centimeters high and about 30 centimeters wide. It's connected to some sort of generator by a thin wire. Looks like some really cheap equipment. That's all there is. Nothing else? I was expecting nothing less, so that's why I said it like that. After explaining something in some language I don't understand, Russian maybe, the person filming the video slowly turns the power on. You mean English? And then it's floating. The silvery triangle floats soundlessly into the air. Then it remains stationary. That's an anti-gravity device. Don't be ridiculous. That would be the breakthrough of the century. It's called an ionocraft, so it probably has something to do with electrodes and charged air. Kurisu doesn't sound as confident as she usually does. We look up information on the Ionocraft lifter. Lots of sites have detailed instructions on how to make lifters, but I don't know how they work since the sites all give conflicting theories. CERN is using this lifter technology. It's a vital component of their time machine. If they can manipulate a microsingularity's mass and gravitational field, then these things really are anti-gravity devices. Well, under those exact conditions, I guess you might not be entirely wrong. Incredible. My curiosity is growing more by the second. But it looks like CERN's having trouble adjusting their lifter. They don't have full control over the microsingularity's gravity, so they can't make a true naked singularity. That must be the reason why the subjects turn into Jellymen. Kurisu nods. Wait, that last sentence was from Taro. Since the singularity is still closed, the subject is crushed by its tremendous gravity. As a result, substances become fractalized. Let's go with that hypothesis. Of course, there's no way to be sure that it's right. It might take months to prove. Kurisu shrugs her shoulders in resignation. So CERN's lifter is still incomplete. If Teeter is telling the truth, then CERN won't complete their time machine for another 24 years. If we can complete the phone wave named Subject to Change first, then we'll have outwitted CERN. We don't have half the equipment or funding CERN does. What makes you think you can solve a problem that they can't? This isn't that simple. CERN still hasn't figured out how to set the subject's destination in time or space. That should be evident by how scattered the Jellyman discoveries were. We don't even know if this is all of them. It could be Jellymen buried underground or floating in space. Actually, I'm almost certain there are. There's no point traveling through time if you end up in tens of thousands of kilometers away from the Earth. It's not practical at all. Teeter said he had a variable gravity lock system. He can use that to lock onto the Earth's gravity and ensure that he arrives somewhere on the planet's surface. Teeter's explanation on that point was vague. He mentioned having such a device, but he didn't explain how it worked. But if you're only moving through time, won't you just arrive in the same location? Of course not. Why not? Because the Earth is always moving. Right, rotation and revolution. The Earth's rotational velocity is about 1,650 kilometers per hour. Its orbital velocity around the Sun is about 114,000 kilometers per hour. Meaning 1 hour ago, we were that far away from where we are now. Whoa! When you think it like that, we're earth-shatteringly fast! And that's not all. The solar system is part of the Milky Way, and the Milky Way spins like a giant whirlpool. There are various theories, but basically the Earth moves about 50 million kilometers a day. How could she roll all these numbers so smoothly off her tongue? I get that she's a genius, but it's hardly common knowledge. Has she been doing research on the topic? We've kinda gotten to a ludicrous scale. By the way, the Milky Way is part of a large cluster of galaxies, which is itself part of an even larger supercluster. And these clusters and superclusters might be moving too. If that's the case, you're moving even more than 50 million kilometers a day. Subject: Phantasm is the cat's meow. Have you bought Phantasm's debut single, nya? It's the theme song for Rain at Cuckaroo, so it's really popular. Ferris bought 5 copies, nya. It's my duty as a Rainetter. Anyway, there's an important secret hidden in Phantasm's songs. The key to unlocking it is... Oops, the bell's ringing, nya. Looks like someone's here. Better see who it is. Phantasm's debut. Theme song. Important secret? I'm aware. They are said to contain directions to the sanctuary, as well as prophecies regarding the end of the world. Isn't that right? I don't see why we're role-playing with her. There's only one type of roleplay I'd be engaging in with her, and that's not it! The point is that setting the destination would require insane calculations, even if you only want to travel 1 second into the past. Doing it by hand is impossible, and it might take years for a supercomputer to come up with a solution just to get you to the same location. And we have no choice. We need to find Teeter and borrow his variable gravity system. Great idea. Go for it. I wonder how CERN is dealing with this problem. Dots. Dots. After blowing me off, Carissa goes back to reading CERN's documents. Dara and I aren't good with English, so there's nothing we can do but let her work. Damn. My brain is breaking. There's so much science stuff, I promise you. Or people have promised me that things get more interesting, but we... Oh, there's so much technical, mathy, sciencey stuff, and that's just not my strong side, man. I'm not even gonna pretend. But once the actual time travel stuff happens, things should get more interesting. So we're gonna break it off here, because it's been a really heavy session. And I'll see you in the next one, where hopefully some more action goes on. Have a still good day, take care, and stay awesome. But most importantly, everybody, stay dark. Goodbye.